to show you how to make stuffed chicken breast with the sides are going to be cauliflower and butternut squash. And what you're going to need for this dish is chicken breasts. I have 2 skinless, boneless chicken breasts. You're going to need chopped up cauliflower, chopped up butternut squash, baby spinach, sliced mushrooms, chopped up cilantro, and chopped up green onions. For your spices, I have a dry blend of oregano, parsley, and basil. I have chicken spice, salt, paprika, black pepper, garlic powder, onion powder, and extra virgin olive oil. And then you're also going to need some partly skimmed mozzarella for the stuffing in the chicken breast. Okay, another thing that you're going to need is string, so you can tie up the chicken breast when you put the filling in. So you should get some cooking string as well, and this you can buy at the dollar store even. You're going to start off by putting 1 tablespoon of olive oil in the frying pan. Coat the bottom of the frying pan with the olive oil, and we are going to put in our mushrooms until they get soft, because I don't like to fill my chicken breasts with raw mushrooms. I like them a little bit cooked, and then they will continue to cook once you cook your chicken. So we're going to coat this all with the olive oil, but you're going to cook this I have my temperature at a number 7, which is like medium-high heat. We're going to cook that for probably 10 minutes. Now you can see that the mushrooms have cooked somewhat. We are now going to put in our baby spinach. And I'm putting the spinach in because, again, I like it partially cooked when I put it inside. Oops, and there goes a mushroom. When I put it inside my chicken. So I'm just going to let this all saute together. And at this point I'm also going to put in the onions and let that all cook in together. You can chop up the leaves to make them smaller, but they do reduce once they cook, so I kept them large because they are going inside as part of the stuffing of the chicken. Okay, so we're going to let that all simmer. Okay, so as you can see, my spinach reduced considerably. So those big, huge, leafy greens have now sauteed themselves down. And I prefer my mushrooms really nice and crispy, so I am going to continue to saute these until they get a little bit more well done. And then I will remove them from the heat, let them cool before I stuff them into my chicken breast. So while your mushrooms are sauteing, we are going to prepare the butternut squash. So what I did is I took half a butternut squash and I just made wedges like this, and I'm going to put that in my bowl. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to season them. So I'm going to season them with some salt, some paprika, black pepper, onion powder, garlic powder. Oop, that was a little bit too much garlic powder. And my Italian spice blend, which is dried basil, parsley, and oregano. And this is homemade, so I'm putting that in there. And then I'm going to mix all that together so that all of the spices get mixed in with my squash. Alright, so now they're all nicely coated. At this point, you're going to need a little baking dish to put in your butternut squash. I'm actually going to do both. I'm going to spray the pan with the Pam to ensure that it's not going to stick. And then I'm just going to drizzle a little bit of olive oil. So probably like a teaspoon of olive oil. Just drizzling it at the bottom of my baking dish. Like that. The next thing I'm going to do is just pour my butternut squash into the baking sheet. I'm going to spread them apart so that they don't stick. And then what we're going to do is cover this and then place it in the oven at 350 degrees when we put the chicken in the oven. So that's how you prepare the butternut squash. Alright, so now we are going to prepare the chicken breasts. So what we're going to do is we want to fillet them, but you notice that there is some fat around the chicken breast. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut the fat off of the chicken. And any parts that I personally don't like, I will cut off. What I like to do is I like to rinse my chicken. Okay, you're going to take a paper towel and you're just going to dry off the chicken. Take out all the water from cleaning them or washing them down, because that's, like I said, I like to do that. And there we go. Alright, so now what we want to do is we want to fillet these and to make a pocket to put the filling in. So what you're going to do is you're going to get a sharp knife and you're just going to cut these open like you're butterflying your chicken. To make a pocket. Okay, like that. Do the same with the other one. Alright, so now what we're going to do is we are going to season the inside of the chicken with our spices. Okay, so the next step that we're going to do is we're going to place our string underneath the chicken before we stuff it, just to make it a lot easier. So place your string. You're going to use 2 pieces of string per chicken, and you're going to place it underneath the chicken. And then if you don't have string, another option is toothpicks. But sometimes I find that if you don't remove the toothpicks, you could have issues when people eat them. So I just use the string. But again, toothpicks will be an option. Alright, so the next thing you're going to do is you're going to season the chicken breasts. Marco? What's going on? Do you want to help? Do you want to help? You can have some chicken when it's finished. Alright, so we're going to start off with a little bit of salt on each chicken breast, followed by some black pepper. If you've been watching my Fatty Friday videos, you'll see that these are pretty much my staples for seasoning. Paprika. I'm all about flavor when it comes to food, and so when you're eating healthy, you know what, make it flavorful. We're going to put some onion powder on here. Go, onion powder. We are also going to put some chicken seasoning. little bit of garlic powder. Okay. So the next thing we're going to do is we're going to take our cooked mushroom and spinach and onion mixture, and as you can see, it reduced a considerable amount. So what you thought was a lot really wasn't. And you're going to put that inside chicken. Okay. The next thing we're going to add is our cilantro. Just put that on top. And this is optional. If you don't like the taste of cilantro, you do not have to put it in. Alright, and then we're going to use the fat-free mozzarella. This is half a cup. So a quarter of a cup was, how many calories? 80 calories. So I'm not going to use all of this cheese. I'm just going to place probably that much, which is about a tablespoon. Alright, so the last seasoning I'm going to put in is the Italian blend. So all I'm going to do is sprinkle that all over the chicken breast like this. Okay, now comes the tedious part, and that is to make sure that you are, when you stuff all this, that you're going to close it up. And this can be quite a pain in the bum. So what you're going to do is you're going to close this up like that and push down on your stuffing. So you're kind of making it like a pocket. And if you need more string, which I'm going to put another string in the middle, you can do that at this point too. I'm going to put another string right in the middle here. So actually you should get maybe 3, depending on the size of your chicken breast, 3 strings might be best. I'm going to put the 3rd string in the middle. Just make sure that everything is nice and closed. And the reason why you're doing this is because you don't want your filling to come out while it's cooking. There you go. And there's one complete. Okay, so now we are going to put the chicken in our baking sheet. I'm going to use my pan and I'm going to spray the bottom of the baking sheet just to make sure that it doesn't stick. And then I'm also going to add a little bit of olive oil. About a teaspoon of olive oil. This is a tablespoon, but I'm going to only fill it halfway, and then drizzle that on the bottom. Then I'm going to take my chicken breasts and I'm going to put them like this with the pocket facing up. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to season the outside of the chicken breast with my seasonings. And I'm just going to use a little bit of salt and then the chicken seasoning. I think those are the only seasonings I'm going to put on there. Maybe a little bit of the Italian spice. And this you can do whatever you want. This is just me being creative. And then maybe a little bit of garlic powder on the outside. You season it how you want. Okay. A little bit more of the Italian spice. There we go. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to put the remainder of the mushrooms and then just throw them on top. Mushrooms and the spinach. Throw those on top like that. Okay, so the next step is to preheat your oven at 350 and throw these babies in the oven, and you're going to cook these for about 35 minutes. And there you go. Okay, and at the same time, you can put your butternut squash. You can throw that in there as well and bake that. I put that on the top and let that cook. So we're gonna put that in for 35 minutes. The final step for this dinner that I'm preparing is our cauliflower. So what we want to do with the cauliflower is we're just going to boil it. I'm not going to do it now. I'm going to wait to the last 10 minutes before the chicken is done. And I've put a little salt in the water, and I'm going to bring this to a boil, and then I'm going to boil my cauliflower, and I'm only going to do that so that it's kind of like steamed boiled. I don't like them overcooked, so that would be the final step. Alright, so we have about 10 minutes left before the chicken is going to be ready. So we have boiled the water, the salt water, and we're going to put the cauliflower into the salt water. And we're going to cook these for about 5 to 7 minutes just so that they become tender, but not overcooked because then they become mushy. So I'm putting the lid on the pot, and then I'm going to reduce the heat to medium heat so that it's actually kind of steaming the cauliflower. Okay, so now the cauliflower is cooked. We're just going to drain them in the drainer, whatever you guys call this. I don't know how to say it in English. What's it called?
Strainer.
Strainer.
Or colander.
Oh, colander, that's it. Alright, so here we have our nice cauliflower, and we're going to season them now. So we're going to put that in there. We've got about 4 minutes left before the chicken is ready. So what we're going to do to season the cauliflower, I'm going to add a little bit of salt. Not too much because we put salt in the water. Black pepper. Italian spice. I'm going to put a little bit of garlic powder. Onion powder. And I'm going to put a little bit of extra virgin olive oil, just to taste. You don't need to do this if you want to have less calories, but I have enough calories to use today, so that's half a tablespoon. Then we're just going to mix all this up, and it'll be ready. Smells really good. And there you go. That's what it looks like. So I'm going to plate everything once it comes out of the oven and show you what the completed entree looks like for dinner and the caloric value of everything. So this is your finished entree for dinner. Now this is approximately 500 calories. I'm going to show you how I figured out the calories. The chicken breast for the portion size that we have here is about 250. The spinach that was included is 20 calories. The mushrooms, 20 calories. The green onions, 8 calories. The cheese that was put inside is approximately 40 calories. The butternut squash is 65 calories. And the cauliflower is 35 calories. Now with the olive oil that I've incorporated, that's about 120 calories. So you're looking anywhere from 500 to 550 for this dinner. Now you're probably thinking, oh my goodness, that's a lot. But if you think about it, when you're on a 1200 calorie diet, you equate 300 for breakfast, 300 for lunch, that's only 600. 500 for dinner, that's 1100. You still have 100 calories that you can use for snacks. So this is not out of realm for when you're dieting, and it's flavorful, it's nutritional, and you can cut out some of these calories by omitting the olive oil and the cheese, but then in my opinion it becomes a little bland. So basically the way I've cooked it is around 500 calories. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed this tutorial, and if you try it out, let me know if you have tips on how to create this, and if you've tried it and you've got a different version, I'd love to hear it. Put your comments in the down bar. So thanks for watching, and bon appetit!